Job balancing KMST. Let's put it in the title. Save, play. And where is exclamation mark KMST? KMST is now going to be a mention, save, supercharger bot. Custom services on Fiverr? Oh, I should probably do that. Your PP is hard? Is it? Oh, damn, look at that shit. Ugh. Looking good. Alright, exclamation mark KMST is updated. That shit's updated. Yes. Dark Knight waifu. Okay. Here we go. Let's turn this down a little bit. Alright, KMST job balancing. So this is fresh off the presses. This is from today/yesterday, whatever. Korea, time zones, all of that good stuff. New. So this means another week at least before it hits KMS, which means it's still subject to change, which means if we do get it, it's probably like 4.5 to 5 months away for us. So this is like something maybe like in June or something with the anniversary patch, or after the anniversary patch, something like that, in between anniversary, or like around Neo somewhere, you know. So, you know, not finalized and far away, but it's always interesting to see what kind of direction they're taking the game in Korea. Yes, so first patch after Neo update will be job balancing. Adjustments have changed skills with low utility and increased convenience. We have changes have been made to compensate for each job's deficiencies so that everyone can be good at everything. Yes! And there's no more difference between the classes. Returning Ancient Artifact Competition. Oh, I remember that. Detective Pepe, Detective's Office, sure. And Fairy Bros Golden Chariot. We already have that right now. Job balancing adjustments. You have changed skills with low utility or added new features to make them worth using and increase convenience. In addition, changes have been made to compensate for each job's deficiency. Ability increasing buff skills. Alleviated an issue where the damage of a skill that was activated right before the buff ended, hit after the buff ended, would not be applied. Ability increasing buff skills. Alleviated an issue where the damage of a skill that was activated right before the buff ended, but hit after the buff ended, would not be applied. Okay, that seems like some weird timing shit. Skill sound effects. You can no longer hear the sound effects of other characters' skills. 2021 until they did that, people. You can no longer harvest while using dark side skills. Ooh, wow. Aura skills, they will now be applied to party members faster. Cool. Soul skills, fix an issue where if you enter the command while using another skill, you could not jump or use soul skills after the skill ended. Weird. Screen shake effects will now be cancelled if you change maps after using it. View Matrix fix an issue where if you use the mouse wheel to change pages after selecting a core, the current viewed page's core would be selected. Never had that before. Guided arrow to skill now deals 20% additional damage to regular monsters. Okay, cool. Hero combo force, you can no longer use a skill to move behind enemies in maps where movement skills cannot be used. Panic action delay has been decreased by 10%. Attack range has been increased by 35%. Oh, that's actually quite nice, because the panic hitbox is really small. You have to like stand on top of the target. A hero buff. Big hero buff. Shout attack range increased by 10%. I think this further also goes into the fact that I think it's pretty useful as a hero, and especially later on in the game when you're training, to go into 2 sets of boost nodes. One with puncture, shout, and no, not combo force. Puncture Shout and Rush, so that your up jump also does more damage. So like Rush, the up jump and the down slash. I think that extra boost node becomes more and more useful, and I'm pretty sure, I would be surprised if late game and end game heroes aren't going to be using that more and more. So overall, like not like huge changes for hero, but like a little bit more tweak, a little bit more buffy buff. Paladin had the ability to choose which party member receives the Holy Unity. This has been really weird so far. So to people who don't play Paladin, basically, Paladin has this skill where you can link to someone in your party. Right now it just links to a random person, but that person will receive all of the buffs that you do on yourself as well during the duration of Holy Unity. So if you are duoing, you can just, you know for sure your teammate's getting it. You can use Sacrosanctity, for example, where you iframe yourself for 30 seconds. And then if you use Holy Unity first, one other person will also get 30 seconds of invincibility. However, now it's just a random person in the party who gets it, but I guess now you get to choose who gets it. I don't know how they're going to do that exactly. Okay, I'll read that in a second here. But hopefully it has to be kind of smooth, right? Because you want it to be instant. It doesn't want to be, yeah, you don't want to have to be like, selecting from a dial or something. So we'll see how that works exactly. Restoration, action delay decreased by 50%. Threaten, action delay decreased by 30%. Elemental Force, action delay decreased by 25%. Yeah, this one is a little bit slow. And second, you can reuse the skill to instantly end it. When the skill ends, the cooldown will be decreased by 45 seconds for every 5 seconds remaining on the duration when it ended. Okay, so if you don't want to use the whole thing, you can reduce your cooldown. What is the cooldown right now? Sacro. Is it 180 or is it 300 now? It's 300 and lasts for 30. So if you only use it for 5 seconds to just survive a thing, then you have 5 ticks, and then it becomes a 75-second cooldown. Wow. So if you use it as an actual iframe, not during your burst, but to really like immune a shorter skill, and then you untap it, you can use it way more now. That's wow. More survivability for paladins. Never thought I'd see that, but interesting. Okay. Okay, Holy Unity. Range to find party members when the skill is cast has been increased by 100%. The bond maintaining range has been increased by 350%. While the skill is active, you can now use the skill with the down arrow key to change the bonded party member. Based on the order of party members in the party UI, you can press the number key corresponding to the desired party member to change your bond to that party member. If you move or use a skill during this, the change will be cancelled. Okay, that's probably still pretty annoying, but that's the simplest they could have made it, I guess. There's a video about choosing the party member.
와 함께 스킬을 사용하면 숫자 키로 결속할 파티원을 선택할 수 있다. 그러니까 이제 아래 키를 누른 상태에서 유닛을 쓰면
Why is this guy screaming? So if he uses a number, will it reorder the... Do the thing, bro. Wait, I don't see the order change here at all. Is he not doing anything? Oh, the number shows up in the UI on the thing. Wait, but you can only do it when it's already active. Okay, so you can't like preemptively put it on the right person. The first time, you'll have to do it. Yeah, I like the V skill for, yeah. Okay, so you have to do it like in the time itself. In before they don't wait, when he presses the button, does he open the chat? Well, I guess we don't know if he has the buttons. Oh, he doesn't have the buttons on, the chat buttons on. Oh, and he can't pick one because that's himself. Like he already has it himself. Okay, okay, that's pretty interesting. That's quite a bit more utility for the Paladin. That's pretty interesting actually. Okay, cool. Dark Knight crossover chains conditions have been relaxed to lower crossover chains. Oh, God, I should know the name of this because it's like one of the skills that Phantom wants to steal. Cross Surge. Cross Surge have been relaxed to lower the number of cases where damage is decreased due to minor mistakes. A skill to turn reincarnation on off. Wait, that's not called reincarnation, right? That's like Final Pact has been added to reduce the experience of activating it unintentionally. Darkness Aura's effect has been changed to reinforce the concept of being a warrior contracted with darkness. Okay. Final damage boost will no longer decrease up to 50% max HP. Okay. Skill will now only activate if you die while Reincarnation Accept is activated. Reincarnation Accept the contract with darkness while Reincarnation is off cooldown. If you have accepted the contract and your HP reaches 0, Reincarnation will be activated. You can only use this skill if Reincarnation is level 1 or higher. Excuse me. When you use the skill, the effects will be activated. When you use it again, they will be deactivated. Nice. So a toggle? Okay. It's good for Paulo since he dies. Nice. Bless, thank you, Aided Sorak. And then Piercing Cyclone movement speed during the keydown has been increased. Wow, this seems like some there's like a lot of stuff coming. Darkness Aura. Effect has been changed to reinforce the concept of being contracted with darkness. Attack range has been increased by 30%, and attack's range has been increased by 35%. And attack's damage has been increased from 1275 to 1325% at level 25. But Paolo is gonna switch back to Dark Knight now. He's got his Genshin waifu in game now. He can finally stop spending money. Finally, we get to see the Final Pact character in game help us out a bit. Let me zoom in a bit more. It's beautiful, yeah. 50% speed to 80% speed during Piercing Cyclone. 50% to 80%. That's pretty good. Does that mean you can actually use it in mobbing now? To like, I guess you already use it in mobbing, right? You just like slash right, left to clear the map a little bit. This looks okay. This looks like some pretty good stuff. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of stuff. Okay, let's go through it a little bit faster. It's gonna be like short patch preview of like 3 hours again. Misdirruption has been weakened slightly, and Mana Burn has been changed to increase effectiveness. Poison Chain cooldown has been changed to match. Okay. Mana Burn, the ability to deal damage based on amount of burned MP, has been removed. This skill now recovers MP based on the amount of burned MP. Oh, wait, what did it... Wait, what did it do before? Upon casting Fire Magic, burn 1% of enemy's current MP. At 10% chance, 50 times of consumed MP will be dealt as extra damage if enemy's MP is under 20% activation. Enemy's MP? Oh. Gets a chance to burn out the enemy's MP to deal extra damage that ignores enemy defense. I guess maybe that wasn't that as efficient anymore? Or maybe it was... To increase effectiveness, okay. It recovers MP based on the amount of burned MP. I mean, they say increase effectiveness. It goes from dealing damage to giving you MP. I don't think that's really more effective. Nobody cares about MP recovery, like you have potions for that. The main thing here is that they lose damage, right? but I don't know if it's that much. Mist Eruption, damage has been increased from 45% to 125. Number of hits has been decreased from 15 to 10. Number of attack activations has been decreased from 4 to 2. Ooh. So what? Oh god, 180 times 15, 2,700%? God, I can't math that quickly, dude. Fuck. 45 times 15 times 4. Okay, never mind, I can. And then 125 times 10 times 220, that's 2,500%. Okay, so it's a, I don't know, like a, what is it? Times 0.92? Yeah, like an 8% final damage nerf? Poison Chain, first attack's damage has been decreased from 600 to 500. Number of explosion activations has been decreased from 6 to 5. And cooldown has been decreased from 30 to 25. So you can spam it. It's a little bit weaker, but you can spam a bit more. Not bad. There's maintenance, right? There was maintenance earlier today. Not right now, no. Game is up and running right now. Oh, look, Flag Race. Oh, damn, my Kana was still in Flag Race. Damn. RIP Flag Race entry. Wait, I was in game, though. Do you think I'll get the invite? If I go to the town map? Oh, no, if you're in a map where you can't get the invite, you don't get it, right? Okay. Okay, so that seems interesting, but I don't know if this is like a nerf or a buff. It seems just like some redistribution of damage, but not like... Not a huge change, just like putting the emphasis on a little bit different stuff. Making you be a little bit more reliant on your 5th job rather than your 4th job skill, right? We'll have to see if this is big enough. There's like 8% final damage nerf on that skill. Doesn't seem like enough to break the class or anything, but this seems like it loses a little bit of damage. I don't know how big this is. I have no idea. Because it burns a part of the MP of the target. I don't know if that's even significant right now. Ice Lightning. Lightning Sphere's hit difficulty has been decreased and Thunderbreak has been adjusted so that it is still powerful even if only a part of it hits. Thunderbreak. Oh yeah, okay, cool. New effect has been added to Jupiter Thunder to increase its ability to deal a lot of damage in a short amount of time. Oh damn, okay. Wait, Ice Lightning. New bossing class? New bossing burst? Let's see. Skill will now instantly move to you instead of disappearing if you move too far away. Wow. Never thought I'd see that day of this happening to the Thunderstorm Cloud like years after it was released, that they're gonna remove it from just disappearing to just teleporting to you. That's wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if it does that much damage, but it's very annoying when you're training and it just disappears all the time. Chain Lightning Fixation where the stun status effect would remain on enemies that were not stunned. Okay, weird. Lightning Sphere damage has been increased from 105 to 150. This skill just keeps changing every time. Finish attacks damage has been increased from 350 to 780. Maximum keydown duration has been decreased from 8 seconds to 3.6. Alright, so they really want you to just be able to burst out that damage way faster. Cooldown has been decreased from 75 seconds to 60 seconds. Okay, I think in general that's a good thing. You can use it more often, but it's but it deals all of its damage in a shorter duration. That's probably a good thing. Mana Burn is OP because it can screw my neighbor over and fill them with bananas. Let's see. No longer need to use 2 potions during burst because of mana overload. Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, mana overload makes the MP cost quite crazy. Thunderbreak damage has been increased from 1500 to 1750. Number of hits has been increased from 8 to 15. And final damage reduction for multiple hits has been increased from 5% to 30%. Wait, and what was the goal of the change? It has been adjusted so that it is still powerful even if only part of it hits. Wait, so for for mobbing they just double the damage on this skill. I think it already one-shots everything it touches at level 1. But now it has 15 lines instead of 8 at 1750% instead of 1500%. But this is just like objectively a huge buff. Because if you can get multiple pieces to hit, instead of getting, I mean, you get 25% more final damage reduction, but it hits 50% more. Right? Am I crazy? If we calc out 1750... Oh no, wait, 1500 right now. 1500 times 8 times 0.95. 11,400 to 1750 times 15 times 0.7. Yeah. Like, that's more than a 50% final damage increase on that skill. Hoyoung changes are a net 13.5% final damage nerf to combo 5% final damage applies only to element skills. When a Thunderbreaker buff, nothing. We'll see, we'll see. Good night, Kala. Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be 6 AM, but free buff for general use cases. Could we need would need to math it out against bosses against the wall. Yeah, or on a platform, right? You don't need a wall as well, Masta. If you have a platform, that works as well. But this is pretty big. That's like 60%. Is it a 7? It's a 60% increase. That would be 66, 68, 82. Yeah, 60% damage increase on that skill. Pretty big. Spirit of Snow buff freezers will now apply to this skill. Nice. And Jupiter Thunder number of hits has been increased from 5 to 8. Cooldown been increased from 75 to 120. Okay. So they put this one down to from 75 to 60, but then this one from 75 to 120. So instead of both of them being like intermittent, the skill now increases the final damage of lightning skills that hit enemies being shocked by Jupiter Thunder by 12%. Wow, so that's another buff on Thunderbreak. Okay, I will say though that Jupiter Thunder is very useful for training at 75-second cooldown because you get a lot of stuff back. But with the way that it is right now, you'll be able to use one lightning sphere without the buff, and then during the burst you use Jupiter Thunder, and then your Thunderbreak and your lightning sphere are gonna deal 12% more final damage. Damn, this is putting Ice Lightning in a very good spot if all of this goes through exactly like this. Yeah, and the Thunderstorm as well, which, I mean, now is a little bit whatever, but I mean, it's gonna teleport to you and deal more lightning damage. And Chain Lightning, yeah, all of it is getting 12% final damage increase during Jupiter Thunder. And the lines on it has been increased from 5 to 8. This is looking really good for Ice Lightnings. Bishop. New feature has been added for Resurrection that wasn't used much. New feature has been added to Resurrection. Which Angel Rays convenience and Devil Punishment damage has been increased so they can be more active in fighting bosses. Oh, okay. If you used Holy Symbol yourself, entered certain content, then exited, it would be treated as Holy Symbol used by a party member instead. Okay, that's weird. Action delay has been decreased by 16%. Invincibility duration after resurrection has been increased from 3 seconds to 8 seconds. If a death count is consumed when resurrected by resurrection, the bishop and the resurrected party member will now receive a 5% damage buff for 30 seconds, increased by 1% damage per 2,500 in intellect up to 25%. So you actually want to use resurrection now as a bishop. It gives you 30 seconds of 30% damage if you... Wait, 25 times 25. What is it? It's like 55,000 intellect? How much is that? I forgot. No, wait, is that 62.5? 75k stat. Okay, well... no, 62.5. Okay. Just be 62.5k stat forehead. But even... Well, those hardcore bishops are like 50k stat, right? The ones in those endgame parties. So that would be 25% damage if you resurrect someone. And 8 seconds of invincibility. Not bad. Heaven's Door cooldown has been decreased from 180 seconds to 90 seconds. Okay. What does that mean? It gives you more utility when you're mobbing, I guess. You can use it twice as much. You can door more people. You can be a door mule for even more people. And during a boss fight, it changes absolutely nothing. Spam door for damage, yeah, I guess so. Vengeance of the Angel, so that's Righteously Indignant, I guess, right? While the skill is active, Angel will now prioritize enemies with the highest max HP in range. Beautiful. And that only two years after the release of the skill. Amazing. Hitting a single target will now prioritize highest HP target in range. Amazing. Okay, beautiful. And then Divine Punishment damage has been increased from 350 to 450%. That's a significant bump as well for the burst and for golem clear and stuff like that. All right, so dude, I see this is some huge power creep like across the board so far. No nerfs so far, but apparently the spoiler alert is that Hoyoung is gonna get a hit. But let's see. All right, where are mages? How are the mages like in this? Then Bowmaster. When developing attacking skills, their basic logic was different, reading from Mortal Blow and armor piercing being applied inconsistently. The skills required to activate them and have been made more consistent. A Mortal Blow has been changed to a buff effect to all skills can receive a damage boost. Okay. Retreat Shot. This skill can now. Oh yeah, Retreat Shot. The Doof used that like a few months ago, and that was the first time I ever saw that skill. Because you can use it to stay in the air over Lucid or something, right? You can now use it while in the air. Beautiful. It applies 100% stance while being used. Damn! This is basically like the 3-point shot from Pathfinder then. It's in the title, MM Shoe. Mortal Blow. Yeah, up jump plus retreat shot to avoid lasers. Yep. Mortal Blow. The skill now increases your damage by 35% for 5 seconds after your directly attacking skills hit an enemy 30 times. Oh, cool. So this becomes a passive on top of basically for bossing only. 35% damage for 5 seconds. If you hit an enemy 30 times. You can hit 30 times in 5 seconds all the time, right? So that's like a permanent 35% damage uptime. That's pretty good. Armor Piercing after image shots active effect has been added to the list of directly attacking skills. 400% limit has been added to the final damage boost. Armor Piercing, what does that do now? Armor Piercing. Why do I always misspell MapleStory on that? Armor Piercing Bullet? No. What the fuck? Looked like a dildo. What is that? No. Maelstrom. What? Oh my god, just do the one with the pictures. I can't Okay. Well. Thank you. Are these am I Bowmaster skills? Irina's Wind? Wait, are these Bowmaster skills? Oh, are these like the hidden memer ones? Mortal Blow. After 9 number of attacks. The following attacks damage plus 80%. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's already... Okay, that does 80% now after 9 attacks. And that was basically going to be a buff with permanent uptime. I wonder if that's going to be a buff or a nerf in total. Probably more stable damage, though. Where is it? Armor Break. Final damage increases as much as 100% of the enemy defense rate. Wait. Increase the enemy's defenses while attacking and increasing damage in proportion to enemy defense. Does not activate for monsters with 0 defense. Also ignores 50% of of enemy defense. Cooldown 1 second. Wait, final damage increases as much as 100% of the enemy's defense rate while attacking. A 400% limit has been added to the final damage boost. Wait, so every second you deal 4x damage on one skill? Or like 3x damage, or like 3.8x damage on Saren? Yeah, it's 80% damage for one attack, yeah. Preparation action delay has been decreased by 40%. I didn't think that was even bad. Okay. Arrow rain action delay has been decreased by 30. Okay, all the attacks are going to be super fast now. It's going to be everything is going to be buffed instantly. Damage has been increased from 1200 to 1400. Number of hits decreased from 8 to 7. So we're going from 9.6 to 9.8. Okay, so a little bit increase. Maximum number of hits boost for every additional enemy in the area has been increased from 6 to 8. Okay, so this becomes even better for mobbing now. Cool. And quiver action delay has been decreased by 19%. Wow, these are some pretty across the board buffs. Marksman, okay. Is Marksman gonna get saved here, guys? Let's see if we become the brr class that we are meant to be. Actually, we're not meant to be because we're sniping from a distance. But we should be able to like hit cap, like hit some skills with 150 build damage when that comes out. There's an issue where their power varied excessively based on the characteristic skill distancing sense. To try and close the gap, the base abilities have been increased and distancing sense's effect has been decreased. Ooh, okay. Final damage boost based on distance has been decreased from 4% to 2%. Maximum final damage boost has been decreased from 30% to 12%. Defense ignore boost based on distance has been decreased from 3% to 2%. Maximum defense ignore boost has been decreased from 20% to 12%. Okay. Crossbow mastery disc skill now increases final damage by 20%. Okay. Oh my god, we're not gonna have the lowest range in the game anymore, guys. Our visible range is actually gonna have flat final damage. Dragon Pulse description updated. Sniping the skill that prioritizes the enemy with the highest HP and range. Another clappa in the chat for sniping. The skill that's been in the game for 10 years is now going to be targeting. No, sorry, not 10 years. My bad. 14 years is now going to target the skill with the highest HP. Amazing. Arrow fragments attack range has been increased by 100%. Damage has been increased from 3 to 350. Critical damage boost has been increased from 8% to 15 on Crossbow Expert. The ability to increase distance sense maximum boost has been removed. The skill now increases final damage by 15%. I don't know if I like this. So we're getting the maximum. Hang on, fucking calc. So we're getting 1.2 times 1.15 times. What if you cap on this? Maximum damage increase from 5 damage from 12. 1.12? Ugh. Really increased damage when there is only one enemy has been changed to increase damage when there are no other party members, or if your skill. Wait, what? Or if your skill is attacking only one enemy. Okay, final damage boost has been decreased from 20 to 50. Defense ignore boost at the minimum distance has been increased from 10% to 20%. Defense ignore boost based on distance has been decreased from 4 to 3. Oh god, this is like a big nerf. The current sense is currently it goes up to 70% final damage, and if you cap on everything afterwards, you're gonna get 54. Ugh. Another 15? No, that's not a lot. That's not a lot at all. That's actually kind of bad. Bowmaster. Explorers. Bow. Because I'm pretty sure it's 30% with trending pages. Oh. I think it's 30% base with an extra 40% usually. Rangefinder. Final damage increased by 4% up to a max of 30%. Yeah. And then this one increases it by, I believe, by 40%. Bolt surplus. Final damage boost increases by 40%. Yeah. So this gives up to 70%. And then last man standing give 20. So we would have 70 and 20. So what we had was 1.7 times 1.2 hidden. So we had 104% final damage hidden. And now it seems that instead of that, we're getting 1.5456 times 1.15 instead. Ugh. Going from 104% final damage to 77.7. Isn't it additive? No, multiplicative. Because it's final, so it has to apply to everything, so it has to be multiplicative. Bolt doesn't stack with a second job passive. Wait, it says it increases by 40%. It doesn't say it increases to 40%. Translating languages is so hard, dude. There's a very, very big difference to increasing by 40% and increasing to 40%. That's a huge difference. Because in one case it's 40% and in the other one it's 70%. It's to 40%? Are you sure? I mean, yeah, you'll never know because everything is applied on hit as a marksman, and you can never even see it in your stat window. If that's true, then it's actually just 1.4 times 1.2, right? So then it would be an increase in final damage. You measured the passive at some point? Okay, then it's a 9% final damage increase. There's no way it's a nerf. Next one isn't that crazy. What do you mean? They nerf and buff things all the time that make no sense. Yeah, okay. I mean, if that's true, the ability to increase distancing senses maximum boost has been removed. The skill now increases final damage by 15%. And what about the the defense ignore then? Defense ignore boost based on distance and decrease from 3% to 2. Maximum ID to 12. And a 7% critical damage. That's nice, I guess. The 12. And then defense ignore boost at the minimum distance has been increased from 10 to 20. Defense ignore boost based on distance has been decreased from... I mean, honestly, in my calculations, I never took these numbers into account anyway. Okay, weakness finding from 10 to 20? Yeah. Yeah, we added the final damage, okay. True sniping skill now applies distancing senses maximum boost regardless of distance. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Yes. Oh. You know what this means? Oh, you know what this finally fucking means? Is you can just pop all your bursts, jump on top of Magnus, and then just one-shot him with true sniping, or just like shoot him like 6-7 times, whatever, in true sniping, and just kill him, because it'll apply like you're at max distance, and you'll get all the final damage boost, and he'll just die. And you don't have to like go into your iframe, and then he dashes away, and then you deal only 10% of your damage because you're out of the blue now. Oh, you can just jump on top of him, and he'll be like swiping you, and then he'll just kill you. What hell happened, Beam Brigade? Nothing that I'm aware of. What about Dell getting nerfed? We didn't get there yet. You'll get all 12% final damage boost. Yeah, I guess so. But 12% is still more than 0 when it's on top of me. Unless he moves away anyway. True. But you can bind him. Bind, attack, and then just true snapping, okay? No, I don't know. Like, but that's a bit better though, because if the boss teleports on you when you're sniping, you lose a bunch of damage. And you can joke that it's only 12%, but 12% more damage is very nice. And true sniping hits, like, it's probably the hardest hitting skill in the game. Don't you have to have the big Mage any longer or sponsored? I've not had that on my screen for like a long time. You have to make sure that it's like, if you get, yeah, you may have to make sure that no one gets into any trouble with that. But it's not like they're giving away thousands of dollars, and you have to like make sure. It's visible every now and then. Look, Beam Brigade. Where is it? Oh, it's on the other overlay. Chill. Okay. In Will Phase 1, the charge will not be cancelled if you move to the other dimension while charging. Fixed an issue where arrows attack did not apply. Repeating crossbow cartridges fixed an issue where arrows attack did not apply. Oh, so we're gaining like 20 weapon attack and repeating crossbow cartridge? Okay. This is interesting. There should be a damage increase overall. But also the positioning should now not be as horrible anymore, which means for Will we don't have to like stand in the corner as much, and I can just be closer and stand on top of him and be a little bit safer like that. Although in general I still like to stand far enough away just to, like for Phase 3, just to not get hit by the knockback skill. Is Kinesis Link that important as a link? Yeah, it is, yeah. But you have to make sure that you hit 100% crit first before you go into it. Weakness, yeah, okay. Pathfinder, what is this? Music. Ancient Guidance, the duration will be extended if you fill the relic gauge with this while the skill is active. Relic Evolution, Pathfinder's theme BGM will play if this skill is active. Pathfinder BGM. Got some pan flutes in there. Hell yeah. Okay, people shrug. Major. Okay, last patch notes, it was Kaiser who was the joke, okay? It was the Kaiser who was the joke, because the only thing that changed was sword visibility and certain resolutions. Okay, this patch note so far, Pathfinder is a joke, okay? Night Lord. Throw Blasting's cooldown has been changed to match other skills. Interesting, let's see. Shadow Web cooldown removed on Shadow Web. You can now only use this skill once while in the air. The slow duration has been decreased from 8 seconds. There was a slow duration on that? I didn't even know that. Spur Javelin, if you have no more stars in your inventory after using this skill, you can now continue to use star skills while the skill is active. Okay. Purge Area, that's Frailty Curse. Fix an issue where this skill could inflict statuses on enemies that could not be attacked. Interesting. Dark Lord's Secret Scroll, that's definitely not the name, but it's close enough. You can now reuse the skill to instantly explode it. Cool. So that we... so if you're, you know, not very adept with Night Lord, you know, and let's say that you go to Chaos Pierre, let's say, and you put a Chaos Pierre down and he changes color and you have the same color hat as the other guy. Let's say that hypothetically were to happen, you know, and you were able to, and you were going to like full heal the clown. Now, of course, if you see the different color, you could just explode it to make sure that it doesn't happen. That's pretty interesting. Throw blasting active effects duration has been increased from 60 seconds to 90. Why? Number of explosive attacks have been increased from 45 to 68. so close to 60 now. Cooldown has been increased from 120 seconds to 180. That is not the amount of of cooldown matching that people were hoping for. Throw blasting up to 180. They finally had something. They finally had something they could use in between spread throw, and now they don't anymore. Feels bad, man. I thought they were going to decrease the charges and decrease the duration and decrease the cooldown even more, but now they just equalize it with everything else. Rip. You like Nightlord being throw blasting 120 and spread being 240? Yeah, that made sense. Just make them super strong and make them 120 and 240. Damn. Well, that's a change that I don't think Nightlords are going to be super happy with, all of this combined. The no cooldown on Shadow Web could be like, yay, but like this is like, this can be useful. Shadow Web. Smokescreen fixed an issue where only certain party members inside the smokescreen could avoid certain monster rush patterns. Only certain. Okay. Boomerang Step attack range has been increased by 50%? Damn. That's a lot. Oh, Nightlord's on Suicide Watch up there. That's a huge Boomerang Step hitbox increase. Damn. Demon Slashing Shadow Formation, this skill now has an additional 20% defense ignore. Why not? That skill was already so weak by itself, so let's make it a little bit stronger. Okay. Not many changes, but this seems interesting. Is that a buff for Nightlord? Not sure. Just like, it seems like a quality of life stuff. So it's like slightly maybe for this, but this doesn't seem to be. 50% to all sides. When they say 50%, they usually mean 50% to the... Wait. They say attack range. So they probably don't mean attack... They might mean attack area. Like in... like if the box is 50% more surface, which could be like a quarter more height and length together or something to increase it by 50%. I don't know. Oh no, wait, if one of them increases by 50%. Yeah, one increased by 50% and the other one stayed the same. Or one increased by 25% and the other one as well or something. Yeah, I think it's 50% more area. I think. But it could also just be 50% of either one, which would also translate to 50% more area. What is the main thing that Boomerang Step would need? Vertical range, right? Because the horizontal range is already pretty good. Yeah, I'm guessing it'll stay the same shape, but they'll just stretch it out, and the total surface is 50% more. Is what I think they'll do. But let's see. Dual Blade. Oh my God! Major patch changes for Dual Blade. Here we go. Mirror imaging fixed an issue in Ursus where the image did not appear translucent. All right, never mind. Pathfinder, you're off the hook. You're no longer the joke of these patch notes. Dual Blade is the absolute cuck of the patch notes. A mirror imaging Ursus fix. Good job. Dual Blade hypers in the chat. Adventure Pirate Dash, a command lock feature has been added. Yes! Thank you! Thank you for letting me lock Dash. That thing is gonna kill... Okay, guys, I have not done Project CRA yet on the on the Buccaneer, but I am gonna die multiple times accidentally dashing into Vellum Tails. It's gonna happen so many times because I adjust a lot by just tapping left, tapping right like this, and it's gonna make me dash into shit. Just so you guys know. Viper, so that's the Buccaneer. New effect has been added to Stun Mastery to increase its utility. You can now turn the charge effect on or off for energy charge. Okay. This skill now increases status resistance by 35% for stuns. Wait, wow. Okay. That's useful for Hard Lotus and for like every boss in the endgame. Okay. Fist and Rage. Action delay has been decreased by 13%. Wait, Fist and Rage. That's just Octo Punch, right? Fist and Rage. Damn, that sounds like some Billy Harrington shit. Serpent Screw. What is this with this fixation? Fury's Charge. Okay. So this is Lord of the Deep. Where if Lord of the Deep consumed energy while in a cutscene where the character was invisible, the special UI would appear. Nice. Fix an issue where it could use a skill in the upward direction at the lower platform of each You could not move if you use this skill in the upwards direction at the lower platform of each Dream Defender area. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I think this action delay decrease on Octopunch was probably going to be pretty nice. More stun increased resistance. That's pretty useful. Overall, not like a huge change, but seems like some stuff. Lord of the Deep Dark Fantasies. Yeah, exactly. Captain, so that's Corsair, by adding an invincibility effect to Deadeye. Wait, Deadeye? Isn't that... Whoa, to this one. Okay. I already... yeah, I felt weird that this one was the way that it was, because there's a little bit of a big delay after using it. Feels like you're stuck for a bit. Not only for this one, but also for Death Trigger. But a lot of changes for Corsair. Let's see what they get. Survivability increased. Crew commandership has been changed to reduce variance of stats based on luck. Okay, so that's when you summon the little duders. There's one that gives critical damage, which is really good. It's kind of like the Hayato and Kana summon, right? The summon for later on in the game. The Sengoku Force. New feature has been added to Death Trigger to show the bullets bouncing even if it hits only one enemy. Oh, that's also pretty cool, yeah. Because if it only hits one target, then you just see the numbers go up and that's it. But the effect of the bouncing bullets is really cool. Infinity Bullet, if you know... Okay, so that's the same changes for Night Lord. Fusillade, action delay decreased by 12%, sure. Battleship Bomber, the firing sound effect will now be outputted at a certain... it will now be output at a certain rate. Was it not already being output at a certain rate, though? How is this a change? Everything is already output at a certain range. It's just that for some things it's 0. Fixed an issue where a skill's final damage would be increased without consuming Quick Draw during this skill. Interesting. Quick Manship stats. Blah, blah, blah. Critical rate boost has been decreased from 15 to 10. Oh, wait. To increase when any crew member is summoned. Oh. Wait, the stats were increased differently based on the summoned crew member has been changed to increase when any crew member is summoned. Okay. Critical rate boost has been decreased from 15 to 10, but is always active, so now it's a reliable 10. Dude, there's so much crit rate in Corsair, it's crazy. HP MP boosts have been removed. Fix an issue where the crew member's final damage was not increased. Okay. Fix an issue where you could summon more than the maximum number in certain conditions. Well, that would be an issue, yeah, because more than the maximum would be... certain different... Strange Bomb, Dirty Bomb, right? Action delay has been decreased by 16%. Bullet Party, fixed an issue where bullets were not consumed. Fixed an issue where bullets attack did not apply. Okay. Deadeye skill now gives invincibility during the cast action, which is, I mean, what is it, like half a second? 1 second? Visibility duration is increased if you accurately aim at enemies. Oh, okay, so you could just plop it if there's no target, or if there's targets, and then you plop it, then it's longer. Okay. Fix an issue where bullets were not consumed. Fix an issue where bullets attack did not apply. Okay, so that's like attack boost for both of these skills so far. Nautilus Assault fixed an issue where bullets were not consumed and where bullets attack did not apply. Wait, has this been happening for like all of the skills with characters with like arrows and everything that shoots projectiles? Has this been broken the whole time? Look. This didn't consume bullets or use bullet attack, any of the 5th job skills. Okay, and the last one, damage has been decreased from 1150 to 650. Number of hits has been decreased from 11 to 7. Bullet firing interval on the delay until the first shot has been decreased by... Wait. Hang on. Damage has been decreased from 1150 to 650, and number of hits has been decreased from 11 to 7. That's insane nerf. That's like a third of the damage now. From like 123,000 damage to 47,000. Bullet firing interval and the delay until the first shot has been decreased by 50%. If there are no enemies to bounce to, the bullet will hit the air and then attack the same enemy again. If there is an enemy with continuous aiming applied, it will bounce to that enemy first. Fix an issue where bullets were not consumed. Wait, is this a buff or nerf for this skill? That's so much less damage. Did they nerf it like overall because it's going to be a buff on a single target? So that it can bounce through the air and bounce back? Yeah, mobbing nerf and a bossing buff? Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? That's probably fine though, because the mobbing was already broken as hell on Corsair. Like, it was fine. Yeah, I had trouble cycling between all of these all of these AoE skills. So I guess that makes sense. And even at level 1, it was one-shotting everything like by a lot. I assume that it still will be very strong. Okay. But yeah, for bossing seems like a pretty big buff. And should hit faster in the beginning, because the beginning hit for Death Trigger was very slow. So if they cut that in half, that's really good. Cannon Shooter. Monkey. Monkey Wave. Buff duration when used at maximum power has been increased from 30 seconds to 60. Okay, nice. Special Monkey Escort. Fixed an issue where the skill would disappear under platforms. Issue where the skill would float in the air and attack without falling. Maybe the skill was one-shotting in Cernium? Oh yeah, maybe, yeah. Looks after a long, hard work week. What's up, Amane? An anchor duration buff. That would be nice, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's something. Cannon Shooter was mentioned, boys. Mihail, was difficult to make use of Light of Courage except to both attack and defend party members, so the attack feature has been moved to Sword of Soul Light in order to allow the protection feature to be used more actively without reducing power. Royal Guard, you can now only use this skill if you have a one-handed sword and a shield equipped. What? Did we have two-handed sword Mihails? Wait, I'm so lost. Wait, people were playing Mihail without one-handed sword and shield? Did we have one-handed axe Mihails out there and I didn't even know about them? Okay, action delay has been decreased by 35%, okay. If the damage taken on behalf of a party member for Soul Link exceeds 20% of Mihail's HP or would cause Mihail to die, they will not take the damage. Oh. Wait. That's not a true support. Like, I'll take the damage, but if it's gonna kill me or take a lot of my HP, then I'm not gonna take it. Is this because of all those parties that have Mihail and DA in it together, and then the Mihails get blown up whenever the DA gets hit by something? Self-recovery. HP recovery has been increased. HP recovery has been increased from 300 to 450. MP recovery has been increased from 90 to 150. The skill now also recovers 2% max HP and 2% max MP. Okay. Self-preservation for the support. Soul Assault action delay is decreased by 6. Shining Cross action delay decreased by 11. Klahiahom Solais. The Sword of Light can now only be activated by directly attacking skills. Attack range based on Royal Guard buff stacks has been increased by 140%, 110%, 90%, 74%, and 10%. Okay. Is that what it's going to look like? Damn, okay. Can't save others if you're dead, true. Sword of Soul Light, duration has been increased from 30 to 35. You can reuse the skill while it is active to activate Light Force Ray one time, which activates 6 lights, each dealing 1700% damage 12 times on 8 enemies. Okay. Big daddy damage lines. And then Light of Courage, the ability to create Sword of Light has been moved to Sword of Soul Light. Wait, okay. What? Then why isn't... Oh, wait, that's this thing. Oh, okay. Huh? The Light of Courage debuff and the Pillars of Light have been removed. What? Maximum shield value has been increased from 260 to 265. Yes! Duration has been increased from 10 seconds to 12. Action delay has been decreased by 24%. Wait, this is so weird. They're basically just like they're jumbling up the effects of the skills. The Light of Courage debuff and the Pillars of Light have been removed. So the Pillars damage is now added to Sword of Light. So that you can keep the the supporting skill can stay the supporting skill, and then the damaging skill can be the damaging skill kind of thing. And you don't have like a damaging effect on the supporting skill, so that you have to like choose whether you use the skill actively or defensively kind of thing. Alright, Soul Monster. True Sight. Action delay has been decreased by 33%. Nice. That's good, because this skill locked you in place for quite a bit. Christian Divide MP consumed has been decreased from 75 to 57. Attack range has been increased by 30%. Solar Pierce MP consumed also down, and attack range increased by 27%. Elysian. Number of attacks required to explode the dimensional crack has been decreased. When Elysian ends, if there is a dimensional crack that hasn't been exploded remaining, it will now instantly explode and deal reduced damage. Okay. So like a little bit. Yeah, 30% here is pretty big. But I mean, that's just for bossing though, right? Like the mobbing ones already have a pretty big range. Solar Eclipse action delay has been decreased by 55%. Okay. You can now use Soul Lunar Divide while in the air or while using certain skills. Okay, fix an issue where you could use this skill while using other skills. Fix an issue if you change maps while holding the key down, your MP would be consumed continuously. Okay, not good. Flare Slash. Fix an issue where Cross the Sticks would not activate the skill if it wasn't fully charged. Imagine using Cross the Sticks without a full charge. But the actual delay decrease by 55% is actually kind of cool because it is an iframe when you use it, so now you get more use out of that iframe. Is the game still in maintenance? No, the game hasn't been in maintenance for 5 hours now. We're just looking at the patch notes for Tespia from KMS. MP consumption has been adjusted due to high costs. Who could have seen that coming? After the last patch notes where they said we are trying to alleviate the high costs of Blaze Wizard skills, and therefore we are now adding the doubling of the costs passive to 5th job skills as well. Mind blown that there is now high cost in MP. Jesus, who could have seen... Hey Seth, who could have seen this coming, huh? Client doesn't let you play? Make sure you restart your launcher. Should be fine. Skill duration will now be displayed in the buff window for Fireblink. Overflame 3, MP consumed have been decreased from 56 to 36. Skill now deals 20% additional damage to normal monsters. Okay. Born Phoenix Fixation could be registered as a pet auto buff. Okay, interesting. Critical damage boost has been increased from 15 to 20. Okay, nice. MP consumed decreased from 84 to 43. And damage to regular monsters increased from 30 to 40. Blazing Extinction action delay has been decreased to 35, which again doesn't matter, I guess, because we just animation cancel it with the teleport anyway. I don't know, man. Infernalize, or what is it? Obliterate? I don't know what. Incinerate? What is it called? Attack range has been changed to be based on the screen to the character location. You're saying the attack range of the skill is actually going to be determined by the size of the skill now? That's insane. That's groundbreaking. Video games everywhere should try to get in on this, bro. Now the size of the skill is actually going to determine what gets hit by the skill. Damn. Some revolutionary shit. Spirit of Flame fixed an issue where the buff icon remained if the summon disappeared after entering certain content. Cataclysm attack range has been changed to be based on the screen to the character location. Whoa. Attack range has been increased by 18%. Okay, so now you can use it even more as a full map AoE. Overflame, add range. Fix an issue where the skill icon appeared to shake when moused over. Okay. It was doing the cucaracha when you got near. So yeah, when you're tickling it. Fix an issue where the Fire Lion could fall under platforms after being used. Not good. Infinity Flame Circle, you can now change Cygnus Phalanx's direction while holding the key down. Ooh. Fix an issue where Phoenix Feathers were not prepared during the key down. Oh, okay, that's another one. And fix an issue where damage was not inflicted when used with only one Phoenix Feather. Yes, I did notice that. When I did that, it just like... and I fell down immediately. Okay, some Infinity Flame Circle, Quality of Life, and buffs. And a lot of nice stuff. More damage, lower MP cost, 5% more critical damage. Some nice Flame Wizard touch-ups. Not going to become like a top class or anything like that, but very nice. Can you lock an invulnerability line before using a circulator? No, circulator is all or nothing. You can choose whether to take the entire new invulnerability or keep your entire old invulnerability. There's no locking with a circulator. But it'll give you an option like keep previous or take new. And even if you click keep previous, it'll say your invulnerability has been reconfigured, which is a little bit scary, but it shouldn't say that, but it does. Windbreaker. Windwalk, you can now hang on ropes and ladders while using this skill. But how? Oh, like if you hold down up through a windwalk, it will grab the ropes or something? Is it gonna allow you to windwalk up ropes and ladders or something? Yeah, press up during the skill, I guess, yeah. Wow, huge quality of life. Song of Heaven, you can now change Signifying's direction while holding the key down on this as well, okay. There's a change where Windwall's skill description was updated to state that blocking certain falling objects that inflict a status effect will ignore that effect and consume an additional 30 element, but is not mentioned in the patch notes and is not functional in-game. Hopefully Nexon does not actually add this. A 30 element, but you don't get stunned. I don't mind that, but that should be a toggle whether you want that or not. If that becomes standard, that could like destroy your wind wall. So because sometimes you'd rather take a stun than lose the ability to block 30% damage. Seize wind wall, PTSD to Yasuo's W. Yeah. Nightwalker. Nightwalker has been adjusted to have some more power, even if you're not familiar with the shadow jump technique. So what this basically means is more training wheels on the class. And there's some compensation for the lack of survivability while using the technique. Element Darkness skill is now passively increases final damage by 15%. Okay. You now automatically activate Dark Sight for 2 seconds if you move while using Shadow Jump. This feature will only be applied after you learn Dark Sight, and the automatically applied Dark Sight will be cancelled if you use skills other than Shadow Jump. The final damage boost when using skills in the air has been removed. Wait, how much is that now? Shadow Jump Maple Story. That's 15. So it's just completely given as a passive now. Alright, we've taken just any kind of like necessary... Good thing Sam's not here. He'd be rolling in his grave right now. Now every class can be exactly the same, and no one has to do anything specifically, and everyone can just get all the buffs passively. That's nice. Marksman doesn't have to position anymore. Nightwalker doesn't have to jump anymore. Okay. Jump cancelling will still increase the DPS. Yeah, I think that's still true, yeah. And hopefully they're trying to mitigate the survivability while you're doing it. So let's see. Additional damage to regular monsters increased from 10% to 35 on Shadow Bats. They've been giving everything the cane treatment, where it's like, oh, more damage to normal monsters for everything. So that people can level up more quickly, and then when they fight bosses, they can see their damage go down and be like, holy shit, I need to fund more. Spirit Throwing, if you have no more stuff. Okay, Dark Ascension, the reactivation cooldown will now be displayed in a buff window. Shadow Bite, cooldown has been decreased from 20 to 15. Dude, you can already use this so much. Buff duration has been increased from 17 seconds to 20. Final damage boost per killed enemy has been increased from 1 to 2. Final damage boost when hitting boss monsters has been increased from 14 to 16. Maximum final damage boost has been increased from 15 to 18. Okay. More Shadow Bite damage. Cool. And then Rapid Throw. Dark Sight will no longer be cancelled when Rapid Throw is used. Okay, so you can stay in Dark Sight for Rapid Throw. Interesting. Minimum duration has been decreased from 2.7 to 1.8. Dude, this is like the this is like the Shade skill, where in the beginning it was like an 8-second keydown skill, and now it's like a 0.7 seconds hold like keydown skills. Like at this point, don't you just want to make it a burst skill instead of like a less than 2-second keydown? But whatever. But that's the minimum duration. And what is the max? Max duration has been decreased from 4 to 3. Okay, so max 3-second hold down. Damage has been increased from 850 to 950, and hits increased from 4 to 5. Okay. Okay, so max to 3 seconds, can keep Dark Sight, and damage, continuous damage increased from 3,400% damage to 4,650? 750? 4,750? Yeah, 4,750. 5,000 minus 250. Okay, some fatty buffs for Nightwalker and easier to play. We'll have to redo Project CRA after these changes again, because the classes seem like they're going to change quite a bit. So that would be interesting to see. But again, like, this is Tespia, this is not set in stone yet, and even if we do get it, it's probably at least like 5 months away. So, you know, don't plan like, oh, I'm not going to do this yet, I'll just do this a little bit later. Like, we're talking about 5 months away. Striker, Water Wave. You can now use the skill with the down arrow key to instantly stop. The instant stop will now be activated faster. Lightning Unity. This skill now has a passive effect where 1 lightning is activated when an attack hits an enemy. Reactivation cooldown of 6 seconds. The active effect and passive effect cannot activate at the same time. Okay, that's a little bit of a buff, I guess. Spear Lightning Chain. The final chain attack will now activate 3 giant lightnings instead of 1. Okay, so that's a Thunderbreaker buffs a little bit. Sorry, Thunderbreakers, it's the best I can do. Okay, this is technically a buff. Okay, but no word on your lightning, I guess. Sorry. Aaron, a Grey Spirit has been added to activate Adrenaline Boost in order to increase playability. Oh. Combat sub description has been updated to include information about the command log feature. Buff features will now apply to Adrenaline Boost. When you reach 1,000 combo, Adrenaline Boost will no longer activate automatically, and your combo will be maintained for a certain period of time. During this time, you must use Adrenaline Boost to activate it. If you don't activate it in time, your combo will decrease. Okay, so if you trigger it a little bit early and you have Hard Lucid coming up, for example, you can wait a little bit and then use it a little bit later. With buff freeze would apply to core overload. That would be nice. Activate Adrenaline Boost. You can only use this skill if Adrenaline Boost level is higher. This skill can be used for 20 seconds after reaching 1,000 combo. If you do not activate Adrenaline Boost during this time, your combo will be decreased to 750. Oh, okay. But usually you go down to 500, right? So you have 20 seconds to activate it, and then if you don't, it goes to 750. So you kind of have to press an extra skill, which is not, you know, maybe not exactly what people want. But however, not as hard of a nerf if it activates accidentally. Can I make custom short links? Yes, with Bitly. But I don't have like 100% freedom over those. But we can work something out with like the naming and everything, yeah. At least the Mega Blaster doesn't go on cooldown if you die while using it, but the cooldown nerf makes sinking cooldown so bad, you know. Evan, support jump, fixation where the skill was used immediately after teleporting. It would be activated before the normal jump. Weird. Dragon Fury, minimum MP ratio required to increase magic attack has been decreased from 30% to 15%. Okay. Fixed an issue. Wait. Hang on. No, that's a nerf, right? Minimum MP ratio required to increase magic attack has been decreased from 30% to 15%. So you have to be under 15% now instead of under 30%? Wait, hang on. You just have to read up on these to be absolutely sure. Dragon Soul. Dragon. Where's the little wing? Where's the little wing thing at? Wing thing! 30% to 100% of the max. Okay, so now it's between 15 and 100%. Okay, yeah, so the lower. Okay, so it increases the range. Okay, cool. Fix an issue in Lucid Phase 3, Phase 2. I can still read numbers, right? Yeah, read 2. 2, where sometimes it would be installed on the wrong platform. That is not cool. Fix an issue in Lucid Phase 2, where sometimes it would be installed on the wrong platform. Okay. So not that much has changed for Evan. Can you shorten the guild form thingy to /apply or something? Yeah, probably, yeah. Let's see what we can do. Whoa. I don't know what I can change it to. Apply is definitely not going to be. Is definitely going to be taken. Like bit.ly/apply. That's not going to be available. I mean, chat. Remember who Hera Shade is? It's Garthar, dude. Penguin Rainbow. Like apply to Scardor or something. There we go. And then copy. The annoying thing is though, is if the link ever changes, I have to make a new I don't think I can delete the old one. I knew I should know, but my memory failed me, yeah. Guild. There we go. Added it. Okay. Mercedes. Water shield continues effect will now appear over the character with transparency. Cooldown has been decreased from 10 seconds to 6 seconds on Spirit Escape. I don't know enough about Mercedes, but that seems like a nice thing to have, just more access to more mobility skills. Sylvidia action has been added to crouch while riding Sylvidia. The character's hit range when crouching and using certain skills has been decreased. Oh, you can duck down on the horse now? Don't call her a horse, it's a unicorn. Okay, sorry. Ricala's breath MP consumed has been decreased from 150 to 50. Okay, cool. And Royal Knights, you can now reuse the skill to instantly end it if you want to. Okay, so no insane changes, but it seems nice. He doesn't have the guild role because he wasn't in it for a while and then he got back into it. If you don't have a subscriber role, it's because your Discord and Twitch might not be synchronized. That's like an automatic system. As long as that's synced, and if it's not working, it's a Discord problem or a Twitch problem. It's not a me problem. Phantom. To complement hunting ability, new features have been added to increase base performance. In UI, you no longer drag skills to the hotkey window. Okay. Breeze cart, a hit sound effect has been added. Wow. Ultimate drive damage increased from 125 to 140. Fix an issue with Captain's Fusillade where if you used it and with the down arrow key, the skill would not be activated. Okay, cringe. Carte Noire Carte. Which is basically translated to card black. It should be carte noire, which means black card. But, hit sound effect has been added when you're directly attacking skills or talent effect hits an enemy. Skill will now throw a reverse card. Oh, reverse Uno card. Deals 380% damage on up to 4 enemies which were not hit by the initial skill. Deals 100% additional damage to regular monsters. Reactivation cooldown 5 seconds. So another passive skill active on top of other things. Hopefully this will make the mobbing for Phantom early on a little bit better, I guess. Hopefully. It's 100% connected? Well, I don't know then. Oh, he does have the sub roll? Okay. Maybe it took a little bit to synchronize though. It's not always instant. Mark of the Phantom Thief. You will now acquire marks when talent of Phantom Thief attacking skills hit an enemy. Okay, so extra stacking on that. This doesn't seem enough to pull Phantom out of the hole that it's in, but at least some stuff. Unwell, also known as Shade. Critical damage has been increased from 20 to 25 on weakness insight. Everyone getting that critical damage. Boy, fixed an issue where Spirit Bond 1 was not applied to True Spirit Claw and Smashing Chain Punch. Okay, so just 5% critical damage. We gave him the guild roll now too. Nice. Just remove the cooldown altogether. Phantom is a fellow garbage class. What a shade you don't remember that class. Yeah, I don't know if they're still in the game anymore. You don't really hear a lot about them. Not 100% sure, honestly. Luminous. Life title, which had difficult conditions, has been changed to reduce burdens. Spell mastery. This skill now increases damage by 15% and critical rate by 15%. Wait, what did it do? What did it do? Luminous skills. Where's the picture? Where's the picture? This one. Spell mastery. No, not spell mastery. What? Increases damage by 15% and critical rate by 15%. Wait, instead or on top of? I guess on top of? The damage and critical rate boost based on HP-MP ratio has been removed. This skill now heals 2% of your HP and MP every few seconds based on whichever is lower. So you just get everything on your spell mastery now? Oh my god, more training wheels. Oh, everything is easy now. You don't have to think about anything. You just always get all the stuff. Cool. Okay. And where is the skill with the Lunar Tide? When MP is greater than HP, damage increased by 20%. When MP is lower than HP, critical rate increased by 30%. MP is lower than HP. Oh, so you're like losing. Wait, do you get it back somewhere? It's basically a 15% crit rate buff. No, it's basically a 15% crit rate nerf. Ooh, this is not good for Lumis. And you're getting 15% crit rate replaced by 20% critical damage, basically. Because your MP is pretty much always going to be lower than your HP, right? Because you want your HP to be completely full, and you want your MP is going to be not full. So you're basically using life title right now to rely on 30% critical at all times. But now that's going to change to 15 crit, 15% damage. So you're going to have to find 15 critical somewhere on a Lumi. And I don't... Do Lumis already go for crit rate on the inner ability? They might actually. Oh, they don't because of buff duration? That might mean that critical rate might... Oh man, imagine needing buff duration, critical rate, and attack speed. Ugh, that's not a good inner ability. You have to go for 130% crit? Wait, people really did that? Wait, why would you ever go for 130% crit? You wouldn't be full HP in boss fights? But... Really? Okay, but don't you constantly have healing all the time? Would your time that your HP is higher than your MP be way, way, way higher? I guess the problem is that all the potions that you use give you HP and MP. You should have potions that give you like 100% HP and no MP, and then Lumis can just use those so their MP can keep draining lower and lower and lower until they need to use a power elixir to get like both. Right, okay, so what Seth said is correct then. If they were going from 130, then now they just have to go for 85. So then it is a 15% buff, you know. And a 15% damage buff then. If you took any damage, suddenly you're missing 30% crit. But everyone has like auto buffs, so you like immediately get it back. But the yeah, the problem is that you have potions that heal both. Use my alchemy pills for HP now and regular elixirs for MP and on my Lumi now. Yeah. Yeah, but that's something you can do when you're mobbing, right? So when you're mobbing, you can roll out of like a crit link skill or something and into a damage one instead. Yeah, it's not a pure 15% buff, but for bossing it is, right? I think Lumis will just get crit rate from Legion Grid or Hyperstat now. Crit IA is a pain. Yeah, no, you don't have to get a Hades Story Arc. You want to autopot tiny hits and bosses like Lotus and Will. Is your MP usage so low then that tiny hits are still like more of a MP decrease than your attacks? Use Mana Overload, your MP is always lower though. Yeah, it'll increase the consumption a lot, yeah. Late game Lumi has like 200k MP. Yeah, you have a lot, right? Lumi base MP is stupid high. Yeah, exactly. So even with the higher... I don't know, Life Title is going to be... This skill now heals 2% of your HP MP for a few seconds based on whichever is lower. That's gonna be even worse. This change would have made it even worse because your MP is gonna be lower. If your HP is lower, then you'll recover HP the whole time, I guess. They use no MP relative to max MP. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Morning Starfall skill no longer activate damage reflection, and Armageddon attack range has been changed to be based on the screen to the character location. Wow, amazing. And the range has been increased by 30% because of that. Which is kind of scary because Lumis have to use this as their iframe, and they can now have a higher chance of accidentally binding the boss and ruining the bind timers. So be careful, Lumis. Demon Slayer, let's see if they get more buffs. Action delay decrease, action delay decrease, action delay decrease, action delay decrease. You can now reuse the skill during the invincibility attack to instantly end it if you want to. Alright, that seems like some buffs to me. Vampiric Touch action delay 52%. Not like insane, but you know, not a nerf, so therefore a buff. And the utility, so on Demon Bane, if the boss like runs out of your skill completely, you can cancel it if you want to and then start chasing it. You need to try Mana Overload again. I think Mana Overload only comes online once you're like past level 235 or something, but it's a really good final damage increase at that point. Demon Avenger. Oh, come on, please save my skill, save my skill, save my class. Okay, here we go. They were forced to play with minimal HP to maintain Demon Frenzy's maximum damage boost, which lowered survivability. Kind of. To compensate the recovery penalty below a certain amount of HP has been removed, and Revenant's performance has been increased. Okay, let's see. Let's see what they're doing. Okay. Shield charge, you can now only use this skill if you have a shield equipped. Bro, why? Okay, action delay has been decreased by 26%. Oh man, we can zoom across the map now. You can now only use shield chasing if you have a shield equipped. No one plays these classes without a shield. Why is this a requirement now? Armor break, action delay decreased by 9%. That's Nether Slice, by the way. Demon Frenzy will now only decrease your HP up to 30%. You will no longer receive a recovery restriction below that amount of HP. The final damage... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm going to make sure I read this right. So Demon Frenzy will reduce your HP when you're up to 30% down, okay, which means you can still tank like big hits of 60%. You'll no longer receive a recovery restriction below that amount. Wait, so if Frenzy hits you to like 30%, and then you get hit by a monster for 1 HP being below 30%, you lose the restriction, and then you use Overload Release, you just go to 100%? Because you're no longer restricted for your healing? You only think up to 30%, but it doesn't say that. That would be nuts. Only up to 30%? Where does it say that? It says you have no restriction below that amount of HP. If you don't get the full HP underneath, then there would be still a restriction, right? If you're saying is if you want to get 100% heal at 25%, you only go up to 30%, that means you have a restriction under 30%. If you don't have a restriction, then it should take you up to 100%. So either the wording isn't correct, or it has to be clarified. I can see that they would do that up to 30%. That would kind of make sense. But the way that it's worded right now, it doesn't say that. It's in the title, buddy. It's in the title, buddy. You no longer receive the recovery restriction below that amount of HP. The final damage boost has been decreased from 3% to 2% at level 25. The maximum final damage boost has been increased to 35%. Okay. Okay. This is a fan translation? Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Wait, what is this? Is this a video of someone using it? Okay, get your HP. Okay, so you can't use the skills now. Okay, this is a bit faster, but it's not. Oh, oh, okay. Okay, because I was gonna say, like, that seemed like the old speed. Wait, I wanna see the zooming again, dude. I wanna see him zoom. Here we go. Oh. Now the only problem is the horrible range on it. But that's kind of fun. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Lots of text, yeah. So that's before and that's now. Okay, so it heals you back up to 30%. Okay, so the wording isn't 100%, but... Okay. Okay, and then Revenant. You'll no longer be affected by deadly status effects while using this skill. Oh, so we can tank the Golic's Breath now? Cooldown has been decreased from 300 to 240. It's usable. Duration has been decreased from 35 to 30. Okay, I don't care. Base damage received after the skill ends has been decreased from 5% of your max HP to 1% of your max HP. Ooh, okay. Okay. Okay, I'll take that, dude. 5-minute cooldown down to 4 minutes. I'll take that. 5-second duration, I don't care. As long as it doesn't kill me sometimes now. Anymore. That'll be, which skill effects did they say here that it, changes on? Oh, the cage still kills you? Or what? Does it still kill you in this? Bam. Do anything that deals HP damage to you should not kill you. Like... Wait, was that before and after? Wait, it still kills you after? Yeah, like the 7 stacks. The 7 stacks in Damien should kill you, because that's just like a. That's an effect death, right? This probably... Wait, this should kill you, right? I like I was just standing there. Just tank it, baby. Just tank it. I mean, there's certain, yeah. So like, if anything hits you for HP and that's supposed to kill you, like feel like you should survive that. But if something is like just a map effect, like you go from 6 to 7 stacks in Damien and you just die, there's no HP involved there. You're just dead, and that should also like kill you in Revenant, I think. Or not at all, but like I think that's a good point to like make a decision, yes or no. Okay. Blaster. Okay, so some stuff here. Frenzy changes could be very interesting for Demon Avenger. So let's see how that plays out exactly. Blaster Lift Press and Lift Magnum, which were unused, have been changed to improve their efficiency. That's the push skill, right? Lift Magnum. The skill has been removed. Fuck it. Damage when an enemy is grabbed has been increased from 140 to 250. Number of hits has been decreased from 2 to 1. Damage when an enemy is thrown has been increased from 140 to 250. Number of hits has been increased from 1 to 4. Number of enemies hit has been decreased from 15 to 8. Action delay has been decreased by 29%. Is it like you grab a character, then you rush forward, and then you fucking throw them around? Changed, yeah, improved efficiency, removed. No, they changed it with another skill. Pretty much, yeah. Now you have, wait. Magnum Cannon? Is that supposed to be the new, wait, it doesn't say new skill. Oh. Fire bullets from cannon built into the gauntlet revolver to attack, oh, this is a new skill, I think, though, right? In front of you with pure explosive power. Okay. The skill shares a skill level with lift press. Consumes 1 bullet, deals 250% damage 4 times and up to 6 enemies with a cooldown of 4 seconds. Good night, Adino. Can you go through Demon Bane again, what it do? You can, if it's during the iframe stage of the skill, you can press the button again to cancel it if you want to. Like if the target runs out or goes into transformation or something, or you want to use another skill, you have the extra ability. That's the only change with Bane. Shockwave Punch attack range has been increased by 70%. Okay. And attack range has been increased by 9%. With the Shockwave. Wait, what? Okay. Why would you want to cancel an iframe? You have the option to. You don't have to, but you have the option to now. They don't say how Magnum Cannon is used. I think it's a 4-second cooldown passive effect that happens when you're using lift press, I think. If I would have to guess. But yeah, 70% is huge. But the shockwave itself is only 9% more. You can already cancel Demon Bane in the first, not iframe part, so now you can cancel it whenever, actually. Oh, I see, okay. Super Endurance, the Rift Magnum damage boost has been removed. This skill now increases lift press and Magnum Cannon damage by 100% points. Endurance training, the skill now increases lift press. Okay, so that's just, just change through all of the areas. All of the skills now change the updated skills. Gauntlet Expert critical damage boost increased from 15 to 20. Boss damage boost increased from 15 to 20 as well. Hyper Magnum Punch, you can no longer be stunned while charging this skill. Okay, that's really nice. Cooldown decrease from 150 to 120. Okay, that's also kind of nice. Demon Bane ends, you don't have any lingering iframe. Right. So as soon as it ends, you can immediately get hit. And if you can choose when it ends, you can make sure that you end it and then jump out of the way, for example. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point, Tiny Baguette. It's kind of the same with Arc. If you use Abyssal Recall, there's lingering iframes, so it doesn't really matter. But if you use Creeping Terror, there's no lingering iframe. So if you exit Creeping Terror, you can immediately die right after. So it being a flexible duration helps to remedy those negative effects. Very good point. Burning Breaker, you can now press the down arrow key and end the key down to activate the attack in place without rushing forward. Oh, that's also pretty nice. Yeah, Mega Fisting's in place. That's really nice. There's some good quality of life stuff for Blaster. Pretty cool. Okay. Battle Mage. Abyssal Lightning has been changed to a new logic so that Dark Lightning's enhanced effect can be activated at the same time as Abyssal Lightning. Freezers now apply to death. Will no longer be cancelled in cutscenes. Dark Lightning. Black Mark's duration has been increased from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. The Black Mark will now apply to yourself. Fixing an issue where only certain party members inside the shelter could avoid certain... Oh, so the same thing with Poison Fog, Cloud Mist, Dark Shadow, Poison, Thief Shroud. Fuck! How can I not remember the stupid skill's name? Don't tell me. Poison Fog, no. Dark, god damn it. Shadow Mist. What is it called? My boomer brain. I see the icon and everything. Okay, just listen to Cynthia's voice. What does she say when she throws it down? I don't remember. Fuck. Spooky fart. Smokescreen. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Okay. Blue Aura Dispel Magic. The status removal will now be activated more precisely. An effect will now be outputted when it activates and removes the status. Union Aura. Fix an issue where the blue Dispel Magic did not activate when Union Aura and Blue Aura were used together. Okay. Black Magic Altar. Maximum distance between altars has been increased by 16%. Thank God. Those things had to be really close. This is a good thing. Don't tell me. Like, as in, don't tell me immediately, and then afterwards, once I give up, then thank you, because I read it in the chat. Masta, when you said it. Ooh, cool. Even cooler lightning effects. Abyssal Lightning feature where Pitch Black Lightning would activate instead of Dark Lightning while the skill was active has been removed. Dark Lightning will now be activated when teleporting between passages in the underworld. Dark Lightning is activated and the Black Mark's attack is activated, which lasts longer now. The Underworld's Lightning will now strike around you, dealing 50% damage 4 times and up to 4 enemies, with an additional 100% crit and 20% defense ignore, with a reactivation cooldown of 0.6 seconds. While Abyssal Lightning is active, Black Marks will only be consumed after their attack is activated 4 times. The passages to the Netherworld's effect's size has been decreased by 45%. Okay, thank you, because these things are huge. They take up so much of your map space that even with... well, it's impossible to play without transparency, but with transparency, you kind of still see them, so... When am I streaming still? Until we get through these patch notes, so like another hour or so. This is long-ass patch notes. Nah, there's like, there's... Oh god. Well, we'll get through the skill parts. Well, we're almost through it. Does it mean you don't have to TP as much? Does it mean you don't have to TP as much? Well, there's like a 0.6 second cooldown, so if you TP as much as you did before, it won't do as much, I think. But they made it so that more of the damage is applied per activation now, I think. Yeah, so the same amount of damage with less TPing, I think. That's what it means. That's what it looks like. To complement, what people say is less punishing to not telecast during it. Yeah, exactly. Like less punishing to not telecast. That's what it sounds like, yeah. While under the complement hunting ability, a new feature has been added. Another bite's duration has been increased as well to help improve the ability to be responsive in boss fights. Character's hit range of Jaguar riding when crouching has been decreased. Another bite's duration has been increased from 8 seconds to 15. Fixation with Jaguar equipment appeared awkwardly when moving backwards. So awkward. When you use Wild Vulcan while riding a Jaguar, this skill will not now throw a grenade that deals 355% damage 2 times and up to 3 enemies which were not hit by Wild Vulcan. Activation cooldown of 3 seconds. Okay. Drill container. Nice. Wild Vulcan's additional damage to regular monsters has been increased from 20 to 40. Wait. This is Wild Vulcan? And this is a skill that increases damage to Wild Vulcan? What a weird image to boost Wild Vulcan with. Okay. I don't think this is supposed to be Wild Vulcan, is it? Okay. Summon Jaguar cooldown reduce. Cooldown reduction has been increased from 10% to 20%. Cool. 165 your first character. I got some potential some gear. Stuff like normal Rudibus. Yeah. Basic bosses. I'm sure gonna get my damage up to do harder bosses. Any advice? Yeah, definitely follow here what TRK put in the chat. The other thing you can look at is ! dailies, but that's mentioned in the video as well. That basically tracks your level, and you're gonna try to use your level as like an indicator of what kind of content that you can participate in the game. And definitely also use that command. I have a lot of commands. If you're looking for anything, just check !info or yeah, just use !info and then check there for the resources on any kind of thing, or use that command in the chat that is talking about a topic that you want to have information on. After you check out the command, if you still have questions, definitely ask me if you have more specific questions, and I'll go in depth with anything that is still not clear after that. Jaguar maximum cooldown has been decreased from 150 to 120. Invisibility duration has been decreased from 12 seconds to 10 seconds. I think Wild Hunters can live with that. A 2-minute iframe instead of a 2.5-minute iframe for 2 seconds less. Look at Drill Salvo. It's weird but correct. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah. It's weird, but okay. Path of the Wild Hunter. Wild Arrow Blast. Drill Salvo. Deploys a drill launcher to support attacks. Unaffected by attack reflection. Wild Arrow Blast damage against normal monsters while mounted. Yeah, so it's supposed to be like a thing that you put on the Jaguar to make it so that you do more damage, I guess. Just looks awkward. Like named like that. Cadena nerf is Sag. Oh, we'll see that in a little bit. But this seems nice. Wild Grenade effect has been changed. Ooh, fixed an issue where the consumed MP would be automatically recovered. Interesting. Wild Vulcan type X maximum key down has been decreased, probably. Yeah, from 8.5 to 7.2. Okay, so 1/6 less. 1/7? Almost, no. Damage has been decreased from 950 to 900. Number of hits has been increased from 4 to 5. Ooh, increased damage. Pog. From 3.8 to 4k damage. Sorry, 3.8. No, 3.8 to 4.5k damage. Nice. Fix an issue where the skill would end if your MP went below 1,000 during the key down. Oh. Fix an issue where the consumed MP would be automatically recovered. Okay. Alright. Okay. Where do I need to watch the VOD? I missed a lot of this, I think. I'll upload it to YouTube afterwards. I'll clip it on YouTube and I'll clip it here and then upload it all to YouTube as well. Yes. To reduce the importance of charging for Xenon, Mega Smasher's cooldown application time has been changed and the increased duration based on charge time has been decreased. In addition, changes have been made to complement hunting ability. Uh-oh. Here we go, Xenons. Get ready. Here we go. Pinpoint Rocket. This skill now deals 20% additional damage to regular monsters. Alright. Starting off strong, okay. Blade Dancing. Action delay before the attack is activated and after the skill ends has been decreased by 16%. Okay. Purge Lob Masquerade Snipe. Skill that prioritizes the enemy with the highest max HP and range. How are there so many skills with a single target who were not targeting the highest HP so far? Bombard. action delay decreased by 6%. Bombardment decreased by 34%. Okay. Ooh, parts. Code action delay decreased by 39. Confine and tangle, that's the bind, right? Decreased by 46. Mega Smasher base attack time has been increased from 8 seconds to 10 seconds. Attack time boost by charging has been decreased from 7 to 5. Okay, so you stay with 15 total, but it's higher at the low level, at lower charge. Cooldown has been decreased from 180 to 165. Cooldown will now apply when the attack begins. Okay. Fix an issue where if the keydown was released. Oh, okay, so that's a 15-second. Okay. Fix an issue where if the keydown was released during a stun, the stun would be cancelled and the attack would activate. Interesting. Okay, so what's this video? KS? No. Okay. What is this? Don't we see a rune usually? What is this message? Is that something we're gonna see later in the patch? Oh, this is the if you die you don't lose experience? Because that's a tomb, right? Oh, a death debuff. Right, okay. He gets less experience because he died recently. Oh. This feels quite a lot better. Well, so it was 6% on the bombard, but on a bombardment it was 34%. That's a huge difference. Dude, just click something. Okay, there we go. Okay, charge your laser, boy. Show it. Oh, he's getting hit. He's charging. He's just tanking everything. Or was he dying on purpose? And not using buff freezer? Wait, what? Wait. Now his skill's on cooldown. Wait, what? Okay. Oh no, it didn't go on cooldown because he died during a stun. He has to iframe that? Oh, he's doing damage, I guess. He's tickling it. Has this guy gone into the Gloom fight before, or it's okay? Okay, mechanic. Massive Fire Splash adds logic has been changed to increase option and hunting patterns, and a new feature has been added. Yep, thank you. He got some suction there. Yep. Command lock feature has been added. This skill now prioritizes moving to a platform in range above a certain height. Okay, cool. Mechanic changes if you want to see it. Magnetic field. When there are no magnetic field coils installed, you can now use this skill with the down arrow key to install 3 coils at the same time. Oh, in just like a random position? Maybe for bosses or something to do it, make it a little bit faster. The skill has been changed from a key down skill to a regular attack skill. Uh-oh. Fuck. God, I hate him. Wait, what? Wait. It just misses a fucking platform. Yeah, the fucking music, yeah. Our 3-hour video is gonna get fucking copyright strikes because there's like 2 seconds of ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. So now obviously they're entitled of 100% of the revenue that this video will generate. So I have to upload this as private first. Clock out the audio. My upload will be like hours later. Or I'll have to clip around it. Beautiful. Yeah, it takes a long time to download this and to just for this little cut, and then to re-edit it to fucking to render the whole thing, and then to send it back, and then upload the whole thing. Yeah. So I'll have to use like the passive. Yeah, whatever. So now I can't like upload it immediately. I have to wait like until it's all rendered and all gone through YouTube, which takes quite a while. So now the upload is delayed by like at least like, I don't know, like 20 hours because there was like 10 seconds of ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Check if the music is in public domain or not. How the fuck do I check that? Is pa-pa-da-pa-pa-pa in public domain? I don't know what the fuck that song is. Wait, on this guy's... Maybe we can see on this guy's video, actually. If this guy's video doesn't get claimed below, it's the Hawaii 5.0 theme song. Well, if you guys already know what it is, you guys can check if it's claimed or not. You could have checked already in the time that you typed it into the chat. If anyone could check, that would be nice. Okay, Kaiser, robust armor, which was unused, has been changed to improve its effectiveness. Action delay when the swords are released in final configuration has been decreased by 60%. The same delay as regular form will now be applied. Oh, cool. Skill has been changed from a party buff to a personal buff. This skill now consumes 10% MP to decrease damage taken from attacks, including percentage HP attacks, by 15% for 20 seconds, with a cooldown of 2 minutes. Passive effect, 20% damage reduction. Even more survivability for Kaiser? Damn! Okay. Okay. Not sure, Selenia, because I've used a bunch of links already. People in the chat who posted the link for videos to watch, post it again, please. Thank you. For the glory of survival. Yeah, true. Will of Swords strike action later with when the swords are released in final configuration, but is increased by 60% as well. Same delay as normal. Okay, also on Will of Sword strike. Or, oh god, what was this sword called again? Bladefall. Bladefall. Okay, Cane. Okay, bunch of Cane changes. A sea cane changes. Grappling wire system message will not be output if you try to use the skill below the minimum height required. Shadow step fixation where if you could not move if you use the skill in the upwards direction at the low platform of Dream Defender. Okay. Chain Sickle final attack's damage has been increased from 200% to 220. Fixed an issue where the final strike would not be activated if you used possession after the first attack. Okay. Execute Poison Needle. First attack's damage has been increased from 235 to 250. Fixation where the skill could not be used by double clicking it in the skill UI. An issue where the skill could not be used by double clicking it in the skill UI. Why would you ever do that though? Okay. 22 Phantom Blades damage boost has been decreased from 75% points to 35% points. Okay, that's a different skill. Execute Fatal Blitz. Fix an issue where the skill could not be used by double clicking in the UI. Okay. Grip of Agony. Fix an issue where the harvested agonies would disappear if a buff freezer was applied. Oh. Okay, so not too much different there. For Explorer Mage recap, Ice Lightning go brr, yes. Bishop buff, fire poison nerf. A little bit fire poison nerf, but not too much. But the Ice Lightning got like a whole bunch of stuff helped with it. I don't think the fire poison was like that big of a nerf. Like they made the 4th V a little shorter cooldown so you can use that more now. Yeah, they nerfed mana burn, but I don't know how big that is. Yanni, do you know how big mana burn is? Like how much of your damage does that do? Ice Lightning go burr. Yep. Kadena, takedown, fix an issue where the skill could be cancelled with certain actions. Oh, I didn't even know that. Okay. Professional Agent cooldown has been decreased from 200 to 180. Fix an issue where if the attack activated on a single monster, the number of hits were doubled. Oh. Okay, so that's a nerf that wasn't... We didn't even know that that was a bug, I guess. Chain Arts Maelstrom fix an issue where sometimes this skill would be installed on a different platform than the character's location. Okay. Yeah, so not really a nerf, but just like a bug fix, yeah. So Kadena were actually stronger now during professional the skill than they were intended. Mm-hmm. They nerfed the Thunder V skill on bosses against the wall by 46%. No, because it hits 15 lines now. It gets more final damage reduction, but it hits 15 lines now. Plus it gets 12% more final damage if you hit the 4th V on it first. I think that's still a buff. You can hit 20 times. But the final damage isn't multiplicative, isn't it? Now it can only hit 3 times. Wait, I totally missed that. Does it say that? It doesn't say that in the skill at all. If it goes from being able to hit 20 times to being able to hit 3 times, then that's a huge nerf, yeah. But that's not mentioned in these patch notes at all. Okay, Angelic Buster, fixation where sometimes a skill would be installed on a different platform. You will now acquire magic bubbles when using Twinkle Star or Magical Balloon. What are the names of these skills? Okay, so more magical bubbles for Angelic Buster mascot familiar. Okay, cool. Second hit is minus 30. Third hit is minus 60. Fourth hit is minus 90. Fifth is 0 damage. Oh, I thought it was just minus 5% final damage now and minus 30% before per oh. I wonder if they keep that 30. That's really, really top heavy then. Okay, yeah, that's a big nerf on like corner or like hard lucid burst then. Never mind. I didn't read it that way. I thought it just like oh, it already hit something, then you get minus 30, and then that's it. Not minus 30 of the previous hit, just minus 30 of the total number. That's how I read it. 0 burst step, a command lock feature has been added. Okay, so wait, so that you can't accidentally burst step? Who wouldn't want to burst step? Longsword mastery skill now increases final damage by 5%. Greatsword mastery skill now increases final damage by 5%. Attack speed boost has been increased from 2 stages to 3 stages. What? More attack speed and more final damage? What are these 0 buffs? Limit break, you can now reuse the skill to instantly end it. Okay, instantly. Okay. You already have it at 3 attack speed for some reason? Wait, really? Read what Masta said, Yenny. There's a 30% damage reduction per extra hit. I thought it was just 30%. I'm on the base number, but they're saying it's 30% stacking per hit. And it hits 15 lines now, and it hits more damage, but I guess it can only hit up to 3 times on a single target, and then more than that, it doesn't deal any bonus damage anymore. Kinesis is slightly lower. The play difficulty of Kinesis. Psycho Break's variance has been reduced, and Law of Gravity's usability has been increased. Psychic Ground has skill. Has anyone found if the Hawaii Five-0 song has has copyright yet or not? The skill can no longer activate damage reflection. Fix the issue where the skill. Okay. Fix the issue where the skill sound effect would play after changing maps. Weird. It does. Cringe. This skill no longer activate damage reflection. Fix the issue. Okay. Final damage boost per enemy has been increased from 1% to 2%. Maximum final damage boost has been decreased from 20 to 15. Action delay has been decreased by 12. I mean, you're never hitting that many targets anyway. So this is more reliable final damage for Psycho Break, so that's nice. You tried, but you didn't find anything? Okay. And oh yeah, the cooldown on Door was cut in half, yeah. Final damage boost has been increased from 25 to 30% on Awakening. Okay, so some more reliable final damage here and some more final damage here for Kinesis. The Law of Gravity skill can now be used in the air. Skill can now debuff flying monsters. However, if a flying monster is debuffed, it will not pull enemies. Okay, no, that's fine. According to my calculations, if it goes from 5% final damage and protection to 30%, given it changes, the full channel of Thunderbreak goes down for 54% final damage. Yeah, I think that's what Masta came to as well, right? 46%. No, what did you say? A 54% final damage buff or 46% final damage nerf? In case it's good, depending on if it's a corner or not. Better mobbing on Bishop, yep. Adele has had high overall performance. Her survivability has been adjusted for balance. Ooh. If the damage taken on behalf of a party member would cause Adele to die, they will not take the damage. Feather cooldown has been increased from 6 seconds to 8. Ether consumed has been increased from 20 to 30. Dyke Invincibility effect has been changed to apply only the first attack's damage received. After that attack is blocked, the damage taken will be decreased to 55% for as long as it... Wait. Invincibility effect has been changed to apply only to the first attack's damage received. After the attack is blocked, damage taken will be decreased to 55% for as long as you hold the skill key down. So instead of being a optional iframe, if timed correctly, it now becomes an always iframe, but it only iframes one hit instead of a duration now. Iframe nerf? Well, not if you were shit and you couldn't even get this to activate as an iframe. In that case, it's kind of a buff. But for most people, it is considered like to be a nerf there, yeah. So this means that you will still die in Chaos Papulatus if the lasers touch. Whereas before, you could sometimes just iframe it and immune through the whole thing. But now you'll just like immune the first hit, but then you'll just get smacked by the second and third and fourth. Yeah, the feather cooldown increase is really annoying. Nobility Shield reinforced. The effect of increasing the shield amount based on received damage has been removed. The skill now increases your damage by 15% while Nobility Shield is active. Okay, so survivability is taking hits on all causes, but now your Nobility Shield is going to become a 15% damage burst skill. That's interesting. So actually, this, when it comes down to like DPS, it's actually a buff. Huh. Dyke persists. The effect of increasing invincibility duration has been removed. The skill now increases the maximum keydown duration of Dyke. They should do one more thing though. They should make it so that you're, I don't know, like during holding the key down for Dyke, it should be like that the heal reduction or that the heal cooldown reduction is cut down by 50% or something. That while you're holding it down, you could use more potions or something. Because now it's going to be really weird to use. But definitely some hit on the survivability for sure. But the passive, passive hypers are kind of weird now. So now Nobility Shield is going to be... I mean, I didn't use Nobility Shield that much myself on the Adele, honestly. So now it's going to become like a bursting skill that we have to press for 15% final damage. I don't know, that's kind of interesting. What kind of flame score should you look for on my Wings of Fate? Like 30 plus or something, it's good enough. If I said final damage, I didn't mean that. Just damage. I said burst damage, didn't I? No. 40 to 50? Yeah. Yeah, it depends on how many times you want to go. Okay, Ilium. Bless marks affected party members will not be displayed even on maps where party members' skill effects are not visible. Amazing. When the crystal is fully charged, the grace period has been increased from 10 seconds. Thank you! Oh my god, that 10 seconds is over so quickly. Extra 10 seconds. That's nice, that's nice. Okay, Crystals of Harmony Link fixing where bless marks were applied to dead party members. RIP. The base invincibility duration with no bless marks has been increased to 4 seconds. The invincibility duration boost per bless mark has been decreased from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. Hang on. Base invincibility duration of primal protection with no bless marks has been increased to 4 seconds. Wait, I didn't know there was any base. Maybe there wasn't actually. Invincibility duration per bless mark has been decreased from 1 second to 0.6 seconds. Oh, I think it was 0. And then went up to 8 seconds with 8 stacks. And now instead it's always 4. And then up to 8.8 seconds. Interesting. Ooh, interesting. Cover Nightwalker? Yeah. They get... your final damage from jumping around is now passive. You don't have to do that anymore. You get Dark Sight now if you use Flash Jump. You stay in Dark Sight when you trigger your 4th V. The keydown is shorter and damage is a little bit higher on a shorter duration, but you can stay in Dark Sight through the whole thing. You don't get interrupted if you get stunned or anything, and your that other like the 5th job skill with the big bat, that cooldown was reduced and does more damage. Just 1 second per stack. Yeah, okay. So it goes from 0 seconds to 8, or like 1 per stack to 4 second standard to up to 8.8. Okay. So in a pinch, this will be more of a party. This is a party-wide iframe, right? Yeah. It's pretty interesting. Soul of Crystal reactivation cooldown of reaction skills activated on the Soul Crystal will now be applied more accurately. Okay. Oh, it's up to 10 stacks. Oh, right, it's 10 stacks. Right, so for 10 seconds to 10 seconds, but it starts at 4 to 10. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I thought 8, honestly. As I said it, as I was saying it, I thought like, wait, don't you have 10? Yes, jump attacking will still give you like more actual hits, I believe. But it does mean it's less restrictive in certain situations, so you can play around it a little bit. Arc. Ooh, major arc changes. Okay, impending death. Fix an issue where... Flora skills would activate this skill. Well, actually, I think we're a bigger meme now than Dual Blade, because Dual Blade just had an effect change. We actually had a nerf, and just nothing else. Because apparently sometimes impending death is being triggered on Flora skills. Well, rip. Okay. Hoyoung has showed excellent performance in all aspects through their play difficulty and damage has been adjusted to match. Hoyoung is actually doing well, so we're gonna fuck it up. Okay, cool. Noah, you can point and laugh at me, but I'm not. At least I'm not losing 5 to 6% final damage. Okay. Scroll energy when use Heaven Earth human skill with a different property than the skill you previously used. The skill's final damage will now be increased by 5%. 1000 Stone, you can now link this skill to Wind Wave Heaven, Wind Wave Real, Destruction Flame Heaven, Destruction Flame Real more smoothly. Warp Gate fixed an issue where if the gate was installed on Ursus's body, it would not disappear after Ursus rose up. Nice. Final damage boost has been decreased from 35% to 25% on the fan. And Sage Hyperclone Rampage, the number of clones has been decreased from 12 to 10. Ooh. This is a big burst skill for Hoyoung, right? So that's a pretty big dip. Passive 10% final damage here is of course decently dip. But you have to work harder now again to get the final damage buff back here. But it's a separate 5%, so that's not as... That's of course less than the 10% nerf here, but it's not exactly 5 to 10, right? It's not as big because it's multiplicative. Oh no, wait. That's always the same, right? Because it is multiplicative. Hang on. 125. 105. No, it's not as big, yeah. It was like 14% final damage decrease in the end. I wonder if that's including this, because a lot of damage comes from this. And this going from 12 to 10, that's a decrease of like 16% there. So I don't think he included that then, because that means it's even bigger. My Wind Archer friend said he can now hang himself for being... What? In the video game? For being a Wind Archer main? Wait, what do you mean? The Wind Archer changes were good. Which is less than 35%? Yeah, but why is this... Well, I mean, this being able to change faster can do... Oh, rope lift. Oh, you mean rope lift. Yeah, nice. Why, Real more smoothly? No, Destruction Flame real more smoothly. Yeah, no, he said it was a big loss, but I don't know if... I think if he includes this, it's a bigger loss, but if he doesn't include this, it should be a smaller loss. So I'm interested to see his maths later on. Just read the Marksman changes. Is that as huge as a buff as I think? No. Well... So, apparently, yes. It's like a 9% final damage increase, apparently. I thought it was a huge nerf because I read the skills that the way that they were written, not the way that they apparently intended them to be. Like, the final damage apparently changes from 30 to 40%, but it says it increases it by 40%, but apparently they mean it increases it to 30%. Or it replaces the effect to increase it by 40% or something. Like, the wording is bad. I thought we went from like a total of 104% final damage to 77, but apparently we're going from like 68% final damage to 77 or something. So I guess that's a so that's a 5% critical damage increase and a 9% final damage increase apparently. Please stream. Improvement and bug fix. Oh my god, we made it through the skill changes. Whew. From bug fixes, when you defeat the final phase of a boss monster, you will now be given an invincibility effect for a certain period of time to prevent dying to the remaining patterns. Why not just stop the remaining patterns? Is this DR? Hardhilla's life leech pattern has been reworked. Monsters in Hilla will no longer give experience. Okay. Is that her lifesteal cage? Too much to code, too difficult. Next on 5 head? Okay. In the Ursus queue, if all characters have responded and someone cancels it, they will be rematched immediately? Sure. I'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. Fix an issue. So remember, if you hit the ceiling after being raised by the gravity field, you will be pushed. Okay, I don't know. Alleviated an issue in Normal and Hard Lotus and Normal and Hard Damien, where if you had 2 or more people, the boss would not appear. Like, at all? The Hilla mob leveling strat ruined? Did anyone go into Hilla for experience? I don't understand these changes. Sue's Lotus, yeah. Jin Hilla, where sometimes party members' death counts were not visible. Black Mage and Sarah, where sometimes the time limit would not be set to 5 minutes after clearing them. Okay. Quests and maps. Yada yada yada. Nothing is highlighted. Max highlights all the important stuff, so... all types of additional options that items can receive have been changed to have the same rates. Right. So this is the major thing that you saw, I guys saw the videos on. So this is about flames. Boss monster damage additional option is only given to weapons level 90 or higher. Attack and magic attack option. Additional option is only given to non-weapons at level 60 or higher. Okay. The all-stat additional option is only given to non-weapons at level 70 or higher. The boss arena emblem receives weapon additional options. Weird. Weapon. Equip level reduction, defense, attack. Okay, so all of these things are in there. Other equipment. Damn, speed and jump are still in there. So apparently all-stat and jump that correlate quite a bit. If you look at your character, a lot of times if you check the flames, you will see jump and all-stat on the same... for some reason, they're like linked, or they were linked in the code. Like this one has jump, has all-stat. This one has neither. This one has all-stat, also has jump. This one has... all-stat does not have jump, which means immediately it's like a really good one, 40 and 5. This one has neither. This one has all-stat, also has jump. This one has all-stat, also has jump. This one has all-stat, also has jump. This one has jump and all-stat. This one has neither. Yeah, so like a lot of times they're connected for some reason. And some people figure that out. And I think they just... This is going to feel like a buff, but I think it's actually just an issue that they alleviated, where that wasn't working properly. And apparently HP and MP had some kind of matching as well, which I've noticed over a lot of cubes as well, that if you hit HP on something, you're likely to hit MP. The other thing that I didn't hear mentioned anywhere that I feel is connected is I feel that weapon and magic attack are kind of connected in some way as well. Whenever I hit like a decent tier of weapon attack, it seems that it almost always also has magic attack, and vice versa. When I see people flames of their weapons and they post them, a lot of times they have weapon and magic attack like together. 9 out of 9 out of my all stats also have jump. Yeah, there you go. If you check it on your characters, you'll see that a lot of them have the same stats. I also feel that strength is free. That's because you're a mage. If you're a warrior, then you would say intellect is free. Is this like inverse correlation? What are we looking at right now? Flame probabilities? Wait, what? They did 10,000 flames. Okay, strength, dex, intellect, luck. I'm with it so far. DSD. DSI. Wait, how do I read any of this? I'm so confused at what I'm looking at right now. Why is there no strength? Isn't that just strength by itself? Why is that one blanked out? Look, jump and all highest number. Wait, but this means that they already had a chart from before, right? These are the changes from what they were before? You can have a negative chance on something. Dual strength dex, dual speed, dual strength intellect? Oh. Double intellect luck? Double dex luck? Wait, what does that mean? The correlation between a strength line and a strength line can't be measured? I need someone with, like, I'm getting like no explanation. I'm not getting any further. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at right now. It's not a change. They compared the correlation in game relative to expected. So a positive number means they got it more than expected amount. Okay, so it's like minus 0.06. That means it's just like a rounding testing error, but that it's basically. So these are like way more than expected. Okay. And what is strength dex, and how is that different than strength dex, and why are these numbers different? Because nothing is like labeled. I don't know what I'm looking at. What is this and what is that? And why are these two numbers different and these two numbers different? It's your daily dose of internet? Oh, yeah. Graphs, people shrug. Jump and all stat 1.88. What is this number? I don't know what anything is measuring. Why don't you... So the correlation is still really high in Tespia? Is that between jump and all stat? Is that the conclusion here? That's before KMST? Oh, this is before KMST. Okay. Okay, now I just need to know why these two numbers are different. Because it's not like you can lock all stat and then add jump, or if you can lock all jump and then add all stat or something. Why are these two numbers different? Wouldn't these have to be the same number? Would this have to be like a mirrored graph? Main stat and secondary stat? But how will you know which one is main and which one is secondary? I'm so confused as to... Like, I kind of get the correlation part, but like, why is... Shouldn't it just be a completely mirrored graph then? Shouldn't it just be half a graph? Like this bottom part could just... High roll? But what if they're the same roll then? Where do they add it? Do they add it here or add it there? But then it wouldn't look cool. Whichever is the highest? But what if it's a tier 3 jump and a tier 3 all stat? Where do they put it then? Do they put it in both? Yeah, I don't. Or they just solve one of the Zodiac Killer's letters? Maybe using black. Maybe that guy can help understand the graph. Oh, wait, you're real? They understand the Zodiac Killer's letter? Really? It might be using black flames where it lists out the options of the order they were rolled before they can say one is a primary stat. One is a... There are primary flame stats? That's a thing? Okay. No... Wait, what just happened? Zerbil for the one-man raid. What's up, dude? Thank you. How you doing, bro? Okay. Yeah, we'll circle back to that. You can still make a point about those numbers even without understanding the difference in the mirrored version, because even mirrored is very similar anyway. Yeah, but I guess I want to understand the graph. So, like, when you have a graph like that, there's supposed to be, like, axes are supposed to be, like, numbered in some way, or there needs to be, like, some... The matrix is in fact not a true sample correlation matrix, which is why it is not symmetrical. A correlation matrix should be symmetrical. Yeah, exactly. Instead, the table represents the percentage deviance between the observed conditional probabilities and the results from a simulation that assumes the appearance of each set is independent. Wait, so it's not even the difference... But it still doesn't explain why it's not mirrored, right? It's not a true sample correlation matrix. It represents the percentage deviance between the observed conditional probabilities. The observed conditional probabilities, yeah, and the results from a simulation that assumes the appearance of each stat. So is one the observed conditional probabilities and the other one the simulation? But what are they both calculating the deviance from then? I still don't get it, Evolution. Fuck. I swear I had a stats class in college, dude. 2 of them actually. You can now always create a 0 character and reboot world. Hose mad. Non-reboot? Mad. Super mad. Super duper mad. Now we have something you guys don't have. What are you gonna do about it? Huh? What are you gonna do? Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. Okay, cool. It's in this long ass thread. Oh god. TLDR. Even strength classes should wait. KMST rolls you then simulated 10,000 red flames and record the results. You then simulated 10,000 results, assuming each stat is independent and equally likely. i.e. chances of getting plus jump is the same as getting every other stat. Then compare to conditional probability chances you will get a certain flame given another. For example, the likelihood you will get plus jump given percentage all stat. Between actual and simulated. So comparing actual versus simulated results is 0, and this chart means there is no discrepancy between... But it's not Punisher. That's the exact same measure. Oh no, you mean like, oh, okay. There might be like 4 items with all stat that don't have jump, and then it'll be like 5 that have only jump but no all stat. So that number isn't like exactly when you observe it the other way around. Okay, I guess. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Okay. Jesus, okay. It isn't? What do you mean it isn't? It compares 2 samples, not the samples with the expectancy? Wait, what? No. It says you compared conditional probability with between actual and simulated results. That's what both of them are. But it's like x given y and y given x. Okay, let's move on. You just reached the same conclusion as you just did? Yeah, okay. Yeah, because if you take the different stat as the base, then you can have, yeah, you can have more that have A and not B than to have B and not A, of course, yeah. But you will have the same amount that have both A and B. Yeah, that makes sense. So there's a huge amount of overlap, but there's a little bit of underlap, basically. If you ran it infinitely, it would be mirrored. Well, yeah, infinitely would be mirrored, or if you have just the probability chart, then it would also be mirrored. But since it's a simulation or a test amount with any kind of sample size that's limited, it doesn't 100% overlap, yeah. Okay, Yeti TV chair has been changed to the hard chocolate effect. It's not visible under the chair. Oh, thank God, dude. The game was unplayable. All right, all right. We did that. We did a little bit of stats class at the end there. The big takeaway from this is look at that animation, though. Bam. This should be the actual size on your screen too when you're playing. The whole map should just be just Genshin Impact waifu through your screen, just like swiping her death sight. Thanatos would be jealous of this. The ching, the red gleam in the eye before the swipe. Big true. PP so hard. Chill. Well, she's probably like a 20,000-year-old spirit or something if she can have like a path to save you, a pack to save you from death, so you're probably in the clear. Bootleg Hero V? Yeah, well, this one is clearly like a top-down diagonal swipe, okay? Not a horizontal diagonal swipe. Could Mihail wear anything but a one-handed sword and a shield? I don't know. And like, apparently you can't use the skills on a DA without a shield either. Like, who does not wear a shield with those classes? I don't get it, but... Came for the rundown, stay for the math, okay? Well, hopefully all that made that stuff a little bit clear. Again, disclaimer at the end, it is KMS Tespia. It's test server for KMS. It'll be at least one more week until it gets finalized for KMS. We'll probably go over everything again a little bit more quickly. We'll just look at a little bit more quickly than 3 hours. We'll probably just look at the Tespia and the final notes next to each other and see if there are any differences and just look at the differences only. And then it's going to be another 4 to 5 months until we get it. So this is probably like, at this point, this is like 5 months out for us. And we don't even know what is going to stay and what is going to change until then. So look at it, take it with a grain of salt. Don't start yelling and running for the hills for my class is going to die or, oh my God, we're going to get super, super strong. Wait at least another week until it's finalized in KMS. Once it's finalized in KMS, it's pretty much like 99% going to come to us about 4.5